Hey, I'm gonna start it because people are gonna. I'm not. You don't have to start, but I'm just gonna. But just don't say anything. Is yours?
Wonder what happened.
They did that on purpose. No, they did that.
Hi. Welcome back to the living. I know. We sure missed you.
I lost y'all too.
You're just right there, but you can go wherever.
Allergies. We did.
Can I put your box?
We did our
Oh, yeah.
cooking on Sunday.
Thank you, ladies, for making us soup.
Shelley, that's good.
Okay, you should be going.
And does it tell you? Does it keep a track of how many?
Or watch. You'd have to look on YouTube. And I can tell you, I got 3 right now.
Okay. Thank you.
See y'all later.
Okay, I think we have.
They give a toss up from there.
I wasn't sure that was her.
What's your deal?
Mix Shelley's
soup and your soup together?
Which one's yours?
Oh.
But then I'm gonna go back to that. Those two seem to mix better together.
These is pretty good too.
I'm gonna go back for these in a minute.
I'm doing Shanna's next.
Let
I
it
think
warm
yours
up.
had meat in it
I put meat in mine.
because you didn't mention meat when you told me what
No,
was in it.
when she first told me, when I first made it, I did not, but then I added meat for more flavor and. I missed it.
Are you trying to keep her from walking around?
I'm already ready to come out of the shoes.
You can take them off. We won't tell anybody. I bet they can't see on there either.
Well, I was just telling them that this is my first time wearing heels. I had surgery in October. And,
Got the rest of it.
yeah, I was just like, I can handle this for an hour. And I'm already
Since they're
like,
late, y'all get front row.
maybe I can do that.
And then I wonder how it's gonna do freezing.
Y'all get front row.
I'm really, really over there about it.
Hi.
Since y'all are late, y'all get front row.
Wow, we got a hot day.
This is because people like what you get at Olive Garden.
Oh, good.
We'll do this next time. She said ask her next time she makes soup.
That's my
What's going on?
I wrote your name down.
I guess they're expecting the weather to be really bad this year.
Everybody's saying, listen to Jim Spencer and
Get him.
the truth. He knows a lot of things.
Is it bounce, please?
These are pretty close.
It's weird because I have some. There's 3. Yeah. Oh, there's 3 that are like that. Pull up another chair. Where do you want? Over there?
These has a little spice to it. Do you need help? Are you still in my chair? No. You got enough for all y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
No, y'all, looks like you need one more.
Sorry, we're so complicated here.
I could probably back that up.
You got like the best. You could fit in whatever. Yes.
I turned it a little bit so they could see it.
Okay, I think we're good. Go.
Sorry. No, I'm just waiting my turn.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right there.
Where's this one?
It's really soft, but it's like
Okay, go for it, girl.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started just so I can make sure that y'all are back to work on time. I know y'all got a lot to do, and you hate to be away from the office. But yeah, just for sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So my name is Tasha Brent. I am the wellness consultant with Texas Association of Counties here for you all, and so we provide your partnership with Blue Cross to provide your health insurance, and with that comes a suite of programs called Healthy County. So part of my job is to come out and do educational events to promote wellness within your counties, along with some other things that I do with our contacts here through your benefits. But today we're going to talk about stress management, and I just want to start off by saying this is going to be very interactive. I don't really like to stand and lecture a whole lot, so it's going to be kind of conversational, so your participation's appreciated. And also, they did want me to let you know, here at the library, there are some older bathrooms back here behind us. They don't want y'all to use those. If you do need to use the restroom, please use the restrooms in the main library. So I think that's the only housekeeping that we had. Other than that, we'll go ahead and get started. And everybody can hear me fine?
Oh,
perfect. All right. Every time. We're going to get started in a minute. Who let IT leave? I'm just kidding. I always have problems, and then I'm like, I'm just going to add IT to my resume. Because it shouldn't be this difficult, but maybe it's my battery.
Well, actually, maybe on Monday.
All right, I'll just stand here and cook it. So one thing that we're going to start with is how we can tie stress management to basically all the pillars of health and well-being. So as you can see here, there's different models for different pillars of health. I like to use these 6 pillars for total well-being. They kind of capture everything. So when we think about stress management, we can think about how it ties into our social well-being. Some of us may experience situations where we might want to go out with friends in order to relieve some stress. Other might encounter situations where when we are in a place with a lot of people, that creates stress. So understanding stress management and how it relates in a social aspect is one way to think about it. Also, occupational stress, stress at work. I think all of us may experience occupational stress in one way or another. We might have a high-stress job, whether it be in law enforcement or the medical field. We might have budget deadlines or other things that we have to take care of that can be stressful at times. Working with people, maybe that we don't get along with, could be an indicator of stress in the workplace or occupational stress. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We also have some other pillars: physical, emotional, spiritual, environmental. So as we go through this today, you can kind of think about stress and how it can impact all the different pillars of well-being. and how you can maybe learn to navigate some of those areas and how you can focus on just dealing with that in the way that is fitting for you. So today we're going to define stress and define occupational stress, learn the importance of healthy stress management, and identify strategies and skills for doing that, as well as some things that you may be able to do to help promote stress management. And I wish this worked because it's so hard to stand here. It's so distracting. As I mentioned, we are going to have a little bit of interaction, so we're going to actually start with a game. Anybody familiar with Don't Forget the Lyrics?
Oh.
Oh, yeah?
Start. Yeah, can't play.
Yeah, so this game is where a few lyrics will play, and then if you know the lyrics, raise your hand and tell me what the next lyrics are. All right, is everybody ready?
I know.
The stress already All right,
My stress.
let's see if I can time this correctly with this.
You might have a problem that you understand.
You just need somebody.
Close.
Oh.
We all need somebody.
We.
Somebody to what?
Lean on.
We
all need somebody.
I thought you wanted me to
No
say.
peeking. Oh, so that's a screwdriver, and then on the other end it's another screw. Like you should pull it out.
Well, if you come in my office, I'm singing all the time.
You were very close. They would have buzzed you wrong though.
Yeah,
So
I know,
I couldn't.
No leadway.
Yeah, no room
No
for error
grace.
here.
No grace.
That's right. So we all need someone to lean on. So you can think about that as, you know, kind of having your social, maybe family, friends, things like that. Whenever you're feeling any type of way, it could be stress, it could be anxiety, anger, you know, anything that you may be dealing with. Just having that social, that person that you can to rely on might be helpful in managing your stress. Okay, that was all that was. Y'all ready to get started for real now? All right, so the definition of stress is a physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes body or mental tension and may be a factor in disease causation. So this is why we're talking about this, right? We're with benefits, we're talking health. Stress management is really, really, really important in making sure that we are preventing anything that can cause disease. So obviously being stressed for a long period of time may raise your risk of developing some types of diseases. So we're going to talk about two different types of stress. We have acute stress, which is the immediate response to a perceived threat. This is temporary. It's going to last for a short amount of time. So you can think about like being spooked or as this picture indicates, a fall. I was talking about a situation that I had recently where I'm actually fresh out of surgery. So when I think about that, like that is acute stress, right? It happened, I dealt with it, it's over. And this is not really going to have a very big impact on your overall health. These are just situations that we deal with on a day-to-day basis that we're able to get through pretty easily. We also have chronic stress, which is our reaction to long-term stressors. So these can be relational, these can be financial. This is a constant state of heightened awareness. The effects will accumulate over several years. And you can also have some serious overall effects from acute stress. So as I mentioned, this could be, you know, maybe an unhealthy relationship that you've been in for a long time. It could be financial stress. It could be you're dealing with another illness that is causing stress. There might be something that's going on for a long period of time, outside, maybe at work, that is causing a lot of stress over an extended period of time. And this is going to be something that we really want to be able to identify and take care of and understand how to mitigate in order to relieve some of that risk factor that might be associated with that. So what are some common symptoms of stress? What do we think?
Headaches.
Headaches. There you go. Very good. See how that works? You say something, you get right. We got headaches. Anybody else?
Raised blood pressure.
All right, raised blood pressure. I heard sleep. Oh, sorry, YouTube. Sleep issues, headaches, raised blood pressure. Anybody else?
What about anger?
Anger, yes, very good. You want another prize?
I do. I'm going to try it.
Clean me out. Yeah, so those are all really good ones. We can talk about hives. That's one I get, for sure. Like, I'm surprised I'm not broke out right now because I really don't like being in social situations. I do this for a living, right? Yeah. Difficulty concentrating, chest or muscle pain. Changes in appetite, perceived loss of control, lots of things. So as we have talked about these, there are some mental, right, and some physical. So you can see how these symptoms really work together in your body. It's not just, oh, I'm stressed, my knee hurts all of a sudden, right? It could be emotions, it could be anger, it could be mental. It might not be something that you feel physically in your body, but it may be a reaction to something that you feel, within. So there are mental and physical symptoms that are inseparable. So when managing our stress, we want to make sure that we're able to identify. I feel like I'm blocking the view of, maybe this is a better place to stand. Because overall, stress, of course, as we know, is going to raise our blood pressure. It can cause serious health conditions, but it's also going to it's going to change our biochemistry. It's going to impact us more than just that temporary headache or a little bit of sleep that we lose at night. This is going to go long term to where we might develop insomnia. We might have other issues resulting from unmanaged stress, be it physical or mental. They're all inseparable.
Like hives.
Like hives. Yes. All right, so also, it's going to impact our GI tract. Who knows how much of our immune system is tied to our gut?
Like almost all of it.
Almost all of it, yeah.
These two things go together.
Our head and our guts, yeah. So when we are living in a heightened state of stress, we are immobilizing our GI tract. We are causing more issues that is more than just, stomach issues, right? Because when our immune system is tied so closely to our gut and we are disrupting that biome, that gut biome, the microbiome in our gut, we are impacting our immune system. So now we have understanding that stress causes all of these physical and emotional symptoms. We know that it is brings up higher risks for some types of diseases, but now we're also weakening our immune system. So what happens when the weather changes? What happens when your kids come home sick? What happens when maybe you have a parent who gets ill and they go into the hospital and you have to go into that environment where there's more germs to be around? All of a sudden you're more susceptible to getting sick. So are you going to be able to manage your stress when now you're trying to deal with an immune system that's not functioning properly because you're sick all of the time? So there's more than just understanding that identifying the stress and taking care of it is going to help us sleep better at night. It's going to help us live longer and more healthy on the day-to-day, so we're not being subject to those common colds and flu symptoms, getting sick at the drop of everything because our immune system is so disrupted. This also will lead to chronic conditions such as type 2 diabetes. It's going to have a risk to lead to cardiovascular disease, hypertension, also later in life being more at risk of developing dementia or Alzheimer's. So as you understand how exactly stress impacts not just your day-to-day struggles of getting a deadline done or something, understand the long-term effects of how stress can develop in your body and what it could cause. And as Hippocrates said, all disease begins with the gut. So we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make sure that we are keeping that GI tract and that gut health healthy. Oh, go back. Did y'all notice? Yes. I just noticed it started working. Y'all, don't ask me. It just started working.
It's because you were stressed a while
It's because I was stressed. You see how stress impacts even like
The smallest. Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, y'all ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right, I'm about to see who I'm going to be friends with. Okay.
I know.
You have to say it. There's a you don't want to be my friend.
I do want to be your friend, but I'm not gonna.
What is it?
Is it bad? I don't know.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
totally not bad.
No, I don't know it.
My brain is
Something with my energy.
Now you have to.
Nobody? You back there.
I'm not gonna, I know a little bit of it, so no.
Tell me.
No.
I'll give you a prize for trying.
What's
Who sings it?
I messed up
Linkin
once.
Park.
so-
Okay.
Crawling in my skin.
It's just, no.
You're on there. These wounds,
Will not.
These wounds.
they will
Not you.
not heal. Look at her over here collecting prizes. We're gonna raffle them off. Yes, crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not heal. I usually get like a better reaction. This is the one
Stress kicked in.
That's a 40s, that's my son's group, 39's the 40s and stuff.
Why did you have to just put me out like that?
As my kids were going down the road playing their music.
Why did you just have to out me? Yeah, so this might be another factor we feel, right? Sometimes
Say the lyrics again. Sorry, now I've gotten so distracted.
crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not heal.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty stressful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's really no point to these songs. I
like it. It's fun.
But you can think about that, like, whenever you're dealing with stuff, like, sometimes music really resonates, and you might identify with that if you're really kind of feeling a certain kind of way. You might just need a good Linkin Park jam to get you through the day. Mine's Snoop Dogg, but who's judging? So occupational stress. I'm glad I got y'all laughing now. Not worried so much about the stress of the day. So this can be defined as job-related stress. It comes from our occupational duties. When we perceive ourselves as having a great deal of responsibility, maybe unrealistic deadlines, it's actually at an all-time high. Nationally, it's causing $200 billion a year in lost wage profits and losses, and 90% of worker comp claims can be attributed to stress. So when we think about that, on an HR side of things or a manager side of things, it's really important to be able to identify if you are in a manager role, if you have people, working with you, that you are managing expectations appropriately for them, making sure that they have the support that they need, because it is a real situation, not just here. I mean, this is something that we see everywhere. So being able to understand and identify it and have those conversations, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the culture that it takes to make sure that we are creating a safe space for dealing with stress management in the workplace, and having those conversations. So what do we think that occupational stress can lead to?
Stroke.
Stroke? Is that you? Okay, it can lead to a stroke.
Depression.
Depression, very good. Oh, you got the good prize. So, I say they're all good prizes. But we used to have, we had a partner that worked with us. Those of you that have been to boot camp know about the bag of tricks of Jonathan's where you could get random prizes that were just completely random. And so she got, are they erasers? A little pen or something?
Squishy pen.
A squishy pen. So every bag I always have a Jonathan prize in remembrance of my old teammate. We lost him last year, but so yes, you got the one that's near to my heart. Anybody else? We had depression, we have stroke. Come on back row.
Burnout.
Burnout. Very good one. Very good. Oh, there you go. The stroke is all very relevant. Anybody else? Burnout.
Split families.
All right, relationship issues. Yeah, relationship issues, bringing work home with you. So I like to put that not on my phone, but like in my car, in like the cubby, the console, and you can like keep your card in there. I got a gas card, so it's helpful to keep my gas card in that. All right, anybody else have any other ideas?
Jail.
Jail? What office do you work in? What else?
Sweet little children. I was thinking those same things.
Right. So we touched on a lot of those. Anxiety, depression, burnout, fatigue, headaches was one from earlier, insomnia, heart issues, reduced productivity, or presenteeism. Everybody familiar with the term presenteeism? We know that means when we're here, but we're not. Right, absenteeism is where you just ain't showing up. But presenteeism can be just as bad. When you're showing up, you're clocking in, you're getting your 8 hours, but are you getting in how many hours of work?
30 minutes.
You're sitting there, wheels are turning, you're not very productive, you're not getting much done. That's where that $200 billion in loss comes from. Those workman comp claims, presenteeism, showing up and taking 3 times longer than needed for a job just because you can't focus. You can't get on track, you can't stay on track, you don't want to be there, you've got stuff going at home that you're trying to deal with, you might have a family member in the hospital, you're over here dealing with that, you've got to run this kid, all kinds of different things can pop up where we're showing up, we're clocking in, but we're not checking in, literally. So we're going to talk about, and then there's increased conflict at work and at home, which is one that we addressed. So some common conditions of stress include anxiety, depression, PTSD, as well as burnout. We're not going to have time to talk about all of these today. I could spend an hour on each one of these topics. We're going to cover burnout today. I know one of you said burnout. That is a big one that happens in the workplace. It can happen at home if you're a caretaker or a caregiver. You can have burnout at home. You can have burnout in the workplace. So we're going to talk about burnout for a little bit. And again, this is going to be a conversation, and hopefully you can take a little bit away, especially if you, like I said, are in a leadership role. You might be able to create an environment in your office to help encourage a little bit of safety in stress management through with burnout. So the definition of burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged and excessive stress, especially in work or caregiving roles, and it occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet the demands of the constant demands that you may face. So we're going to look at some symptoms of burnout, and we might look at these and be like, I have every single one of them. Don't worry, look at the person next to you. They probably do too. So you're not alone, and just knowing that you're not alone and feeling symptoms of burnout, exhaustion, and things like that may help you identify and uncover ways that you can better manage it. So exhaustion, that feeling drained, again, showing up but not really getting much done because you're just so physically emotionally just exhausted. You're unable to deal with problems, and that can be professional and personal. And you also may experience like tiredness, feeling without energy, things like that is feelings of exhaustion. Then you have alienation from activities. So obviously not wanting to do things that you really enjoy. You get off of work, and when you're burned out, what do you want to do?
Just sit down.
Just go straight home, sit on the couch, veg out on the sofa. And so it could be a beautiful day outside, and you might have a great park. I mean, we're in a really beautiful part of Texas, so I'm sure y'all have some great parks here, right? Do y'all have national parks? No state parks?
State parks.
Y'all gotta tell me, because I need to know. When the weather gets better, I gotta come back.
Inks Lake State Park.
Inks
Longbird
Lakes.
Cabins.
Okay. So there's some things to do outside. So I know that one thing that I enjoy is being outdoors. So if I'm burnt out from whatever it may be, I'm gonna go home and I'm not gonna wanna do a thing. So I'm not gonna do those things that I really enjoy. It could be even if you have kids, doing things with your kids that you enjoy. Maybe they're playing sports, maybe they're in Little League, and you're like, oh, now we have to go to practice. And they see that, and that affects them. When you should enjoy that. That's a part of your life that you're never gonna get back. So you get to go to practice, right? Now we get to go to practice. And so just being able to understand that burnout is definitely a state of being, but you can help relieve some of that by changing your perspective. So understanding where burnout triggers you, if it is alienation from activities, finding ways to tell yourself that you get to do these things, maybe instead of saying I have to do these things. And then of course the physical and mental burnout symptoms, again, that feeling of exhaustion, maybe that you don't have enough time, your brain is so overloaded that you can't even, we say it all the time, especially with everything that we have going on right now. We're gearing up for a huge conference that we host every year, and you'll hear the team members say, I can't do this right now because I don't have the mental capacity to give it the best job. So understanding and identifying, like, is there somebody else that can take it because I'm mentally exhausted? If I take on something else, one, it's not going to, a good job's not going to be done, but two, like, for my physical, emotional, and mental health, I can't accept that responsibility. And then just knowing that you have a team behind you that's going to be able to come back and help support you in that. So recognizing the signs, obviously, is going to be one way to overcome burnout. Just like I kind of touched on this as I went through, talking about some of those points, recognizing the signs, understanding which ones really resonate with your life, because we all experience stress and burnout in different ways. So recognize the signs for you, reevaluate those priorities. Like I said, if it's something that you have to do after work, maybe you want to get back on a gym routine and you just don't have the energy because you're burned out. Tell yourself, I get to do this. This is one body that I get, and I get to take care of it. So finding a way to reevaluate that, make it a priority, deciding on which jobs, which tasks that you have at work that you can do right now, knock those out. If there's anything that you need help with, maybe there's too much on your plate, go into somebody on your team and saying, look, do you have any room to help me with this? I want to do this. I want to do a really good job on it, but if I take it right now, there's no way that I'm going to be able to give it 100%. And I know that it's important that this job gets done at 100%. So I can take it, but if I take it, is there any of these other projects that you might be able to help me with? And I know that's crazy because y'all are like, you have no idea what I do for work. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody else to lean on. So finding ways to prioritize those things and making sure that you're doing what is the most important, budget-wise or time-wise, that has to be done, just prioritizing. Taking breaks. I am the worst because I only get a couple of office days a month if I'm lucky. Sorry about returning those emails late. So sometimes I'll sit down in my home office and I will not get up for lunch. I'll get up and it's dark outside and I'm just like, oh my God, I never took a break. How productive do you think I really was? No, I probably sat there for an hour with my wheels spinning. I should have gotten up. I should have taken a break, right? I should have walked away because I probably would have gotten, I know I would have gotten so much more done. And I've done it before and I've just said, hey, I'm gonna take a walk and I'm gonna come back to it and boom, way more productive. So make sure that you are prioritizing breaks. You're allowed to take a break. Yeah, there's a policy that says you get one. I know, every job has one. So how you plan to take that or how your manager allows you to take that, just make sure that you understand that you have those breaks. You are allowed to take them, so take them. Make sure that you're taking them at a time that's appropriate for you. If it's allowed, if you can tag it onto the front of your lunch break or the back of your lunch break and take it on your lunch break. I don't know how y'all are allowed to do that, but I worked for a company one time where I was able to do that. And so I was able to go to the gym on my lunchtime. And so I have 3 children. And so it wasn't always an idea for me to just go after work because my kids have things to do. So I was able to tag my break time onto my lunchtime and I could get more out of my lunch hour. So just understanding that you have access to take a break, take it. Go outside, take a walk around the office, go to the park, whatever you have time for. But make sure that you are stepping away from those screens, stepping away from whatever reports or things that you have in front of you and make time for that break. Practice self-care. That's whatever that looks like for you. For me, self-care might be the gym. For you, self-care might be journaling. It might be going to get a massage. It could be yoga. It could be, we're not going to talk about anything unhealthy.
Shopping.
Did you say coffee?
Shopping.
Oh, shopping. I was like, I love that. I was thinking alcohol. I'm just kidding. But practice self-care. And again, that could just be identifying what that is for you. Maybe it's something that you haven't really thought about before. Maybe you've given so much of your life to taking care of everybody else that you haven't really identified self-care for yourself. So find that in yourself. And then also reach out for help. So we're going to talk about some programs that you have access to, but again, you have a team of support people that you work with. So finding maybe a trusted person that you work with, a trusted family member, a trusted friend, somebody that you can have these conversations with, because I promise you, like I said, look at the person next to you, you're not alone. There's probably more than likely, I love the shoulder pad over there.
She's actually my coworker.
There's more than likely going to be somebody that understands exactly where you're coming from, and they might have actually identified ways that they have been able to get through, or maybe they've gone and researched the policy and found a way to utilize the policy that works really well for them. Like I said, whenever I utilize my break time with my lunch hour. Now, don't go have HR. Is that you? Don't go saying, Tasha told me. But understand what that looks like for y'all, what your manager might allow, and how you can fit that 15-minute break in. Is that what y'all allow, 2 15-minute breaks a day?
Technically, it's not it.
It's not required? I'm gonna talk to your HR consultant. Sorry. Right. Just forget everything I said.
I looked it up.
So y'all don't have a break policy? Okay.
We used to have one. We used to get one. I mean, I've been here 15 years, so.
It takes up to your elected official.
I checked out the
I've been here 30, so.
We used to get a 15-minute break in the morning and a 15-minute break in the afternoon.
Okay,
They couldn't be
so,
combined, but they had to be one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I don't know
It's
on
not
that.
Mine can have them when they
It's-
want.
I was told that was your elected official.
so this might be a conversation that if you feel like it's needed within your departments,
Yeah, I should change it.
it could be a conversation to have with,
Your department.
yeah, with your department head, or even, if it has to be approved, this could be a conversation that you might want to have with those decision makers to make sure that, because trust me, they're the ones that approve the budget. They're going to want to make sure that those dollars are being accounted for and that you are, getting the most out of your workday. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of a break. And, but again, I don't think that even your department head is going to have a problem with you saying, hey, can I get a 5 minutes? Let me just go outside and get some fresh air. So we're going to now go through a few different things that we can practice for managing stress. These are not really things that I would consider that are going to really take the place of that acute stress or that long-term stress, right? These are just going to be some of those things in the moment that you can do. You could use them to help manage, some of that long-term stress. But a lot of times, if you're just in a moment and maybe one of your coworkers just really rubs you, got under your skin, and you need to take a break, you need to do some stress management. We're going to talk about a few different strategies that you can use for practicing some stress management. So the first one that I always like to start with is breathe. Thank you. And I say this because it's honestly one of the hardest things for us to really breathe. And I am, again, not the professional breather here. I am not a runner. Any runners? Past runners? So breath work is really important when running, right? And so really understanding how your body works and how to breathe is really important in making sure that you last for a long run. But it's also really important to make sure that your blood is getting all of the oxygen that it needs to flow correctly, especially in those heightened moments of stress. So understanding how to breathe is one really good way. We want to make sure that we are breathing all the way through with, those belly breaths. And I'm the worst. I literally stop right here in my lungs and I cannot get a breath deep. So there are some ways that you can practice on really focusing on breath work. And one of those ways is the box breathing. Everybody familiar with box breathing? So box breathing is where you basically focus on a box or imagine a box. If you have the mind that can imagine images, I've heard people don't have that. Some people don't have the ability to see shapes in their mind. But if you have that ability, then picture that there's a box, and as you breathe, you're going to breathe through that box. So you're going to start just by sitting up straight. We're going to do this together. Sitting up straight, making sure that you, and some people say that it really helps them to lean over, but for today's purpose, if it helps you to lean over, then feel more welcome to lean over if it really helps you get into your belly. But we're going to picture, again, that you have that box. If not, there's some squares on the ceiling. You can imagine running down that. So we're going to hold for 4 seconds. We're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. We're going to hold for breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds as we go down that box. You can do your box anyway. I like to start across. So really quickly, we're just going to practice that together. So I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to go ahead and start with our 4 count of deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, now out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. That was kind of hard the first time, right? So for the first 4 seconds, you want to take that whole 4 seconds in. Okay, so one more time. As I count to 4, you're going to take the whole 4 seconds to get that breath all the way through your chest and into your belly. Belly should be coming out, not sucking in. All right, on the count of 3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can hold for 4 and start over whenever you're practicing this on your own. There's other strategies that you can do for breathing as well. It doesn't have to be box breathing. There's other methods. You can look up breathing methods on YouTube if this is not one that works for you. They all stress me out. I've been to so many breathing seminars, and I sit in the back of the room and I'm just like, this is the worst. So I've not mastered it yet. but it is a technique, and I'm going to share it with you because it is a very valuable technique. It's just not one that I'm good at. We also have the 5 senses, so there's actually a couple of different ways to look at this one. So once you've found your breath, you can try one of these situations for 5 senses. I like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method for the 5 senses. Has anybody ever heard of that? Awesome. Okay. So it's where you're going to find 5 things that you can see around you. Now, you don't have to go anywhere special to do this. You can be stressed in your car, and you can be doing it driving down the road, sitting at your office, wherever you are. Just identify 5 things that you can see. And so once you have identified those 5 things that you can see, you're going to acknowledge 4 things that you can touch. And that might be something that's on your desk. That could be your steering wheel if you're in the car, your hair, glasses, shirt, anything. But then count 4 things that you can touch. 3 things that you can hear. It might be the cars on the road outside. It could be the HVAC system blowing. Maybe there's a clock ticking. Maybe you hear a coworker in the next room. So 3 things that you can hear. And then 2 things that you can smell. Maybe you have a candle on your desk or some lotion. Maybe there's a little candy jar. Be careful smelling the candy, because then you might want to eat it. But that's okay, because the next one is taste. 1 thing that you can taste. So again, if you do have a little candy jar, then finish it off with maybe a little, treat. Not too many, just 1. I'm just kidding. But really what this does is, 1, it helps you identify all of your senses. It's going to re-ground you, but it's also taking your mind off of whatever the heck has gotten you stressed out. So your brain is rewiring, right? So you're not going to forget about what's going on, but it's really just helping you to ground yourself, come out of that moment, detach your emotions that are tied to that, and focus on something else. So we're focusing on 5 things that we can see, 4 things that we can hear, 3 things that we can touch. 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. You can do it any way you want to. If you want to taste 5 things, good luck. Maybe it's lunchtime. Maybe it's lunchtime and you have all of the options on your plate. But just know, this is just a way of regrounding. You can also focus on 1 at a time. So maybe you have kinetic sand, or my son is severe ADHD, so he has like magnetic putty. He has like little fidget things that he can use to kind of refocus his attention. So kinetic sand is a great one that you can keep, or like some clay. It could be a stress ball. So anything that you can really touch. Again, this method is really going to just re-ground you and recenter your system. And then smell. Lavender is actually 1 scent that is really tied to stress relief. There are some other senses like peppermint and lemongrass as well. So you might have, like I said, some lotion. If stress management is one thing that's important to you, there are some really great lavender and stress relief scented lotions that you could maybe get a hold of, and you could use that for smell. You don't have to do the whole 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. You could just focus on 1 at a time if that's easier for you. And then taste, we have dark chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a life size, y'all.
I wish it was.
It's not this big. This is just for visual purposes. But dark chocolate, the darker the better, because it is actually known to, again, open up that your blood vessels and really help blood flow. It also is known to reduce cortisol levels and things like that. So again, just a little piece like the little Dove dark chocolate square is a nice one to keep on hand. But dark chocolate is known to, again, lower that cortisol, increase serotonin levels and things like that, as well as those scents too. It could also be having a mantra. This could be something like the Serenity Prayer, which is here on, trying to get my audio back. it could be maybe, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. It could also be, it could just be an affirmation. Maybe it could be, right now, this is enough. It could just, a mantra is just something that you tell yourself, that you could repeat to yourself. Again, this is just a way to take your mind off of whatever situation you're dealing with and re-ground. I mentioned earlier that I have one thing that I like to do. Does anybody remember what I said before we got started?
No, but do you know the Snoop Dogg affirmation song? Is that what you're about to play for us?
I said earlier, I just listened to Snoop Dogg. So Snoop Dogg's "Safe for the Office" song is the affirmation song, and it's actually on one of his kid albums. Mm-hmm. So he has a kid album, and if it doesn't link to my daggone thing, I'm gonna get y'all. Hold on. We're gonna hear this real quick. It always cuts off.
Affirmations are positive statements that help us to challenge and overcome when you're not feeling good and have negative thoughts. So repeat after me. Come on, everyone. There is no one better to be than myself.
There's no one better to be than myself.
Today's gonna be an amazing day.
Today's gonna be an amazing day.
My feelings matter.
My feelings matter.
I get better every single day.
I get better every single day.
So if all else fails, and you can't think of one single affirmation, and you can't memorize the Serenity Prayer, Snoop Dogg has got your back. Okay? Snoop Dogg has got your back. It's the affirmation song. And that can, if that doesn't just make you feel good, I can't help y'all. And then also sight. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this earlier whenever I talked about taking a walk or taking a break, but the colors of blue and green and even like a royal purple have been scientifically shown to really decrease levels of stress. So oftentimes you'll see in hospitals, what are the colors? It's blue, it's green. A lot of times there are pictures of landscapes in hospital rooms, plants, windows to the outside, and this is done very, very purposefully. There actually was some research done in the late 70s on gallbladder patients who had received gallbladder surgery, and in their recovery process, they identified patients who were in a room with no window compared to patients who were in a room with a window that could see another part of the building. That's common. And then patients who were in a room with a window to the outside. So if they had access to see trees and green and sky and grass, those patients that had views to the outside to see the trees and the nature had requested less pain medication. They recovered quicker and just overall had a better experience recovering than patients who did not have a view of that. So then they took it. Yes, ma'am?
I was just saying, to your point, also the sound of running water or being by a body of water also.
Right. So we are tied to nature. We are, and you can call me a tree hugger, I don't care, but we are tied to nature. Our bodies and we are an organism tied to nature. So being outside, being able to see the outside, taking a walk, getting outside is really one of the best ways that you can increase that serotonin, right, and reduce those cortisol levels. The colors are significant. You can even have plants in your office space. Now, I do a presentation on the power of plants, but live plants are great, obviously, for lots of reasons. They help promote air, they have scents. There's things that live plants do, but for stress relief, even fake plants have been known to have, yeah, you can do fake.
She doesn't have a green thumb.
No, I do not. They're all
Me
dead.
neither. Even fake plants are known to be able to tie into this. So I feel like I'm running out of time because I'm losing you. But just know you can bounce back from adversity through mindfulness, those breathing exercises that we talked about, And even again, finding those people that you can talk to. I do have one more song. I think I'm still connected. But you can't see it yet. Hold on. Do you already know what it is?
No.
Okay, good.
Happy.
Oh! You said nothing. Maybe you're going to get the prize. All right, you ready?
If you feel like a home without a roof.
Because I'm happy.
She is happy always.
And you got a stress ball. It's not a ninja star. Do not throw that at anybody. Because I'm happy. So hopefully if you got anything out of this, maybe you got a couple of strategies that you can use. Maybe you've been able to identify some ways that you can open up those connections at work. Make sure that you're identifying in yourself and then also your coworkers that may be feeling stressed or burnt out. Understanding how to set policy for breaks. And also invest in your people. Even if you're not in a leadership role, we're all people. And we want to make sure that we are feeling connected and we have purpose in our work that we do at work and at home. So make sure that you're investing in your people. Create that supporting culture, normalize those conversations like I talked about this whole time. We've talked about this, promote work-life balance. If you know somebody's going through a lot, they've got a parent in the hospital, help them understand that these deadlines are going to get met and you're a team and you're going to be able to be there to help support them. Even if it's not exactly your role, we're all human and we all need to have that grace sometimes. Direct employees to HR for those leave requests when they need them, and also know your policies. We have a lot of resources for stress management and support with mental health. We do have the Employee Assistance Program through the Alliance Work Partners. This is available for all employees from the first date of hire, as well as anyone in the household, even if they're not covered on the health insurance benefits. And this also covers up to 6 counseling sessions per person, per situation. So if you are feeling like you are in a situation where you may need to talk to someone, the EAP does have resources for that. This is also available in your Blue Resource Guide from open enrollment that you would have received. All of this information is in the back of that resource guide. We also have the WebMD1 platform that has some self-management courses available as well. They also have links to podcasts and a lot of articles to help support mental health and stress management. Learn to Live is a program that you have access to through Blue Cross Blue Shield under Well on Target. This is a self-managed program where you can identify an area that you may need support in, whether that be stress management, anxiety, insomnia, any area of support. There are programs where you can do self-managed courses, because maybe you're not really ready to talk to someone, but you know that there's an area where you might be struggling a little bit, and they can help you identify those areas, relearn those thought processes, and learn how to navigate without feeling so stressed. We also have MD Live for behavioral health. If you are covered on the health plan, MD Live is available for no copay, and they actually have a catalog of therapists, counselors, and psychiatrists available for you to choose from. So you can go online and you can find one that might identify specializing in an area where maybe you want a female counselor who's faith-based. Then you can go look through the catalog and you can find that, and then you can connect with them. This is not for a crisis situation. If you need to speak to someone immediately, you're going to want to contact your local health authority for that. But they do make appointments within 2 to 3 days from registering, and it is a great benefit that you have. I've used this myself. Most everyone on our team utilizes MD Live for behavioral health, and I've also used it with my oldest child as well. So it's a very great resource, and it's not going to cost you anything. There's also not a limit to the amount of times that you can visit with that specialist. So you can also find provider finders on the Blue Cross Blue Shield website. So there is an option where you can go through and find some that are in network or they're local in your area that you might be able to visit with in person if that's something that you prefer. All right, and And that's all that I really had on stress management and burnout. And we're just going to end with ending the stigma. A lot of this has been changed and has kind of manifested in a different way, especially since COVID. We are highlighting mental health a little bit more, and we are a little bit more acceptant of understanding that everybody struggles in their own ways. But there still is a lot of stigma associated with that. And so that makes it really hard to create that culture in the workplace when you are dealing with people that don't, that haven't gotten on board with where we are today in identifying behavioral health situations and how to get through them. So understanding that there is a stigma and allowing that open communication and really addressing it head on is one of the best ways to prevent that and break that stigma. Do y'all have any questions?
You did good.
Thanks.
You did great.
Awesome. All right, well, as always, Ms. Shelley has all the information on the benefits that you have access to, as well as how to contact me. So if y'all ever have a question,